Welcome to this session on first session on transistors. In fact, one can say that the invention of transistor in 1940s has been instrumental in miniaturizing the entire electronics engineering. Prior to that, prior to transistor, the electronics engineering was governed by vacuum tube diodes, triodes, tetrodes. So, it was not at all small, it was a very big one. Now, that evolution has been there from the transistors till today's integrated circuit technology, which includes transistors. Only thing is that because the rate of progress is very rapid, transistor is a standalone component normally may not be required in some design because all ready made things are available, but fundamental understanding of transistor is very much essential for any engineer. Now, it is across the disciplines. You have studied a PN junction diode. Connecting two diodes back to back leads to a transistor. So, I will explain what transistor is and then I will explain its working in a different way. There are 2-3 methods with which we can approach the transistor. One of them is conventional one where two junctions, how the junctions get biased and all that, but that is very much difficult to understand because understanding of transistor after understanding of diode, this itself has been a very critical thing in electronics engineering few decades back because that was considered the crux. Nowadays, there are 2-3 things have happened that things have become simpler because of further advanced things and easy way to handle them. Therefore, and looking at the time period which we are undergoing, it may not be advisable to spend some unnecessary time in understanding something which is hard. Instead of that, we will adopt an approach which is simple and which does not then we will say by simple approach are you going to teach like ITI? No, not at all. It does not affect any kind of understanding. Actual understanding may take place after some time if time permits. After the lockdown, we can have some additional sessions or I will put those sessions also later on. But for this point of view, for you to understand transistors, what we discuss here is much more than enough. So, basically transistor is having two diodes. There are two diodes PNP and NPN, or sorry, not two diodes, two types of transistors made using PN junction diode. So, there is one PN junction diode and another PN junction diode. Now, there are two ways with which you can connect. You can connect this P to this P, combine, or in general, there are many ways of actual construction. The semiconductor material is prepared using this N part, this P part and this N part. This is called a NPN transistor and reverse also possible. It is PNP transistor. NPN and PNP, these are the two types. So, two diodes back to back and based on that a very detailed analysis is done. So, I do not think that is required for us right now. Also PNP transistor is not also that way required. We focus mainly on working of NPN transistor by a totally different model. So, it is perfectly working model, it will give you thorough insight. Normally this model is not followed, I do not know why people do not follow it, but according to me it is the best way of teaching transistor. So, what is a transistor? Now listen very carefully, I am presenting the entire discussion in such a manner that everybody should understand almost each and everything. Everybody has to understand almost each and everything, that is my approach, and I am sure that I will be successful in that approach by a very simple analysis. So, what is a transistor? Transistor, a symbol is drawn like this, where now we focus on NPN transistor. So, there are 3 terminals, one is base, other is emitter, and other is collector. Then you may say, are they interchangeable? No. Even though it is NPN, the terminals are not interchangeable. That is, collector and base, collector and emitter are not interchangeable. They are fixed terminals. One is emitter, one is base, and other is collector. Now, understanding what should be the proper method for understanding how transistor works, then that would be by analyzing the diodes, their biasing, their currents, and all that is, according to me, next to impossible for anybody to really understand. Then what these tricks have been there for decades together, then there are very few people who have really understood transistor, then they try to percolate, then it goes down, then each time everybody tries his own way of changing and twisting, so that what trickles down at the end is a complete mix, and everybody tries to portray that he has understood, where the fact is nobody has understood. So now, then what should be? I have described the problem. Then whether the job of the teacher is to successfully describe the problem? No, that is not the job of the teacher. Job of the teacher is to provide solution for that. Therefore, we go for a totally new model for transistor, which hardly you might have heard, you might not have heard. So that is a resistor diode model. Resistor diode model. So that model, if you are able to, why that resistor diode model is easy to understand, NPN transistor we are focusing. There is a simple diode, this is P, this is N terminal, and a hypothetical resistor. This is a very, not fixed resistor, this is a very peculiar resistor, magic resistor. This is magic variable resistor, we can say. This is base, this is emitter, this is collector. So base, emitter, and collector, and this is dynamic, and to this I will give a name which also you might not have heard, because there is not standard things are there in the literature, RCE. So RCE is a magic resistance which adjusts itself according to some rule which we will discuss in detail, and once we are able to explain that, everything of transistor is understood. So once you have understood diode, resistor is known to us, everything of transistor would be very easy cakewalk for you. So now the question is, what is diode and how it works? Now so I will explain in two parts, simple way of finding currents in diode circuits. We have learnt diode in the pre-mid semester part. Diode provides us a non-linear characteristics of V and I, which is given by diode equation. Diode equation like I is equal to I0 e raised to QV upon eta KT. So diode provides us a non-linear characteristics. So that diode characteristics based on equation is somewhat difficult. There is no need to remember that also. So diode, what is diode characteristic? Diode VD and ID, where VD is the voltage of the diode with respect to terminal A and terminal B, VAB. This is P and this is P type semiconductor, this is N type semiconductor. So VD is voltage across diode measure from VAB. So what is VD? VD is equal to VAB. And what is ID? ID is the current in this direction. So suppose if in case of reverse bias, ID value will be negative. So just like for resistor, what we have got? For resistor, the terminals are interchangeable and there is a linear relationship between V and I. There is a linear relationship between V and I for resistor. Whereas Now you forget of all discussion regarding PN junction, then potential barrier, that barrier getting overdone and all that, not at all required. What is required is understanding the characteristics, how it works. It works in such manner, it is very low slope and suddenly goes high around 0.7. We focus for silicon diode. For germanium it is 0.3, right now there is no need to discuss that. So we focus on silicon diode and it is very negligible on this side. So around 0.7 the diode becomes forward biased and voltage starts rapidly increasing. So what is diode? Diode is a device which exhibits a non-linear VI characteristics. Diode is a device which exhibits a non-linear VI characteristics, but for given voltage there is given current in the diode. Now a very interesting question I will put, and it is not so easy to answer, but I will make you to answer. Suppose if I connect a diode like this, a power supply I take of 1 volt, I connect 1 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm means 1000 ohm resistance or 1 kilo ohm, and I connect a diode like this. What would be the current in the circuit? I. So once this is known to you, to find current in a diode circuit, the transistor would be so simple to understand, absolutely there is no need to worry. How will you find the current now? So you have a diode equation, So based on diode equation and based on the resistor, you will now, because of huge computational abilities with various tools available with us, what has made simple? This has made simple to find the things even if we do not understand the concept. So how can we find? You can listen very carefully. So there is a diode equation. What is diode equation? Diode equation is I is equal to some constant into e raised to something, which includes V. So exact values that we are not required. So approximate equation of diode is I is equal to, that is ID is equal to some constant I0 into e raised to another constant. I will have that constant, I will say as, let us use CV. C is a constant. I is equal to, ID is equal to I0, it is one constant, e raised to another constant into CV is VD. Right. So now assuming that you have calculator with you, I am just explaining the various ways with which we can find the answer. So diode current is ID is equal to I0 e raised to CVD. So what that should tell us? That should tell us that if calculator is given to you and if VD is told to you, you will find I. Calculator is given to you, VD is given to you, you will find I. That you will certainly do. Now this is given to you, this is given to you. If a question is asked by using calculator or by writing a computer program, how will you find the current in the circuit? The question is, this is, you know what is resistor? For resistor, IR is equal to 1 upon R VR. IR, that is current through resistor, is equal to one constant into VR. So ultimately it is, so I am sure that I will explain to you graphically. I will also explain you how you can find it using numerical methods. In fact, actually it can be very good very perfect assignment for CSE students. It can be a perfect assignment for CSE students to develop a program to find the current in diode circuit. The thing is very clear. Why this is the equation of diode, you don't think now. If you decide to think everything, then you will be confused and will go mad. So there is no need at this juncture to think about that. So what is the diode? Diode is a device which exhibits this VI characteristic given by the graph, which is very low slope to very high slope as it progresses. It is increasing exponentially to some extent. So in that case, how we can, it is exponentially means when it is very small, this constant plays a major role, that it grows like this. It grows like this. So at initial means initially you will feel it is very slow and it catches up very rapidly. In this case now, how you will find this? So you write, I give you a task, you write a computer program. How can you write a computer program? In this case now, it is series circuit. So ID is equal to I and IR is also equal to I. That is, everybody agrees. Current is same in, what is diode current? Same is resistance current. Now, what is diode voltage? Let diode voltage be VD. Let diode voltage be VD. And what is resistor voltage? What is the equation between diode voltage and resistor voltage? VD plus VR equal to 1. 1 is equal to VR plus VD. So now, whether I am interested to find diode current. So resistance and I want to establish relationship between diode voltage and diode current. So VR I don't want. I will replace VI in terms of, what is VR in terms of VD? VR plus VD equal to 1. So what is VD? What is VR? 1 minus VD. So it is 1 minus VD. Now, so is it clear now? So this is some constant which will be given to you. Right now, what is that is not required. This is some constant given to you. This is some constant given to you. In this case, it is 1000 ohms. So now, E is a universal constant, some figure. So E is constant, I0 is constant, R is constant, C is constant. So what are variables? VD and ID or I. VD and ID. So you can keep same, you can call entire ID, there is no problem. So just to have a feel of diode current, you can say that ID also, and this also you can say ID because ID is equal to IR1 and same. So what you can have, diode current and resistance current same, so I am calling it by ID. I will be able to find the relation between, what I am interested is, I am interested to find the diode current. So how can we find it now? You can put D, or even if you don't put D, if once you have assumed it is I, you can remove also. Only thing is, what is the question? Find I is the question. Everything is known. Find I is the question. So there are two equations, equation 1, equation 2. This is a linear equation, this is a non-linear equation. One linear equation, one non-linear equation. So how will you find? Now there is no method like cancellation of variables in that case, because it is something which is not so easy. What you can put is, you can put VD value also you can find and put it here. You can have, so based on this now you can find value of VD. What is that? VD is equal to 1 minus VD is equal to IR. Right now I put R as it is, don't replace value, only 1 I have replaced, just let that be. So VD is 1 minus VD is equal to IR, so VD is equal to 1 minus VD is equal to IR, so VD is equal to 1 minus IR. 1 minus IR, right? So everything goes, the only thing is, what is I? I is equal to I naught e raised to C into 1 minus IR. 1 minus IR. So this is now we have used two simultaneous equations. We have used two simultaneous equations. Using linear equation, we have converted it into one variable. So only one variable remaining. What is that? That is that's what we want. That is I. So what is the answer? In when both were linear equations, when you get one directly, you are getting the answer. Directly you are getting the answer. But here getting answer is not so easy. Because it is non-linear. So non-linear equation doesn't give you direct solution like that. Here the computer program role comes. So what computer program role will do? So I hope that it is explained in such a manner that even though anybody is not knowing how the things work, he will also understand the steps. So this is something which you don't. So I is equal to I naught e raised to c 1 minus IR. So here everything except I is known. Everything except I is known. Then how to find I? A non-linear equation where everything except the variable is known, how to find that? So the job is not easy. How do we go? You have computer program with you, a calculator you have with you, immediately you can find things. So I will explain you a simple method, that is by you have been very much used to multiple choice questions in your CET. So what is the beauty of that? There is no need to find the answer. You can verify the answer. You assume first answer, is it correct? Then second, and so on. So like that, by trial and error method, you can very easily find what is the answer. So what is the first assumption you will do? You assume I is equal to 0. You assume let I be equal to 0. So what will happen? You assume I, it's actually, in fact, this would be a very, even though that is not our purpose, it will serve as a very effective tool for you. Assume I, find out LHS, find out RHS. Find out LHS, find out RHS. Start with 0. So what is LHS? 0, right? What is RHS? E raised to C, I0 e raised to C. So I0 you know, E you know, C you know. So you find, so what you find? You find RHS. You find RHS. So what RHS would be? I0 some constant, C, E raised to C, I0, C is positive constant, I0 e raised to C because this is 0. So I0 e raised to C will give you some value, right? Then what is the chance? How will you solve this equation? There will be some RHS, will be something, some value. I am not interested in exact value, maybe something like, you can say, let us, I am not much interested in exact value, let it be 2, let this be. So what will happen? Now you just should check. LHS greater than RHS or RHS, or you keep here only, LHS less than RHS. Right? So here what is the key scenario? LHS less than RHS, right? Then you make it some further random value you take, some further random value, you take 3, So luckily here LHS is directly I itself, so this will be 3. And if this comes as 2.7, what is the scenario? LHS is more. So if it comes as 5, what is the scenario? Still LHS is greater than RHS. So you increase it. Are you getting me? So it is very simple. there is non-linear equation, you assume some value, compare LHS, RHS, go on proceeding with some random steps, then what will you do? You will find which is more, which is less. Suppose now at, these are not the valid answers. Suppose at 7, what you find? This is 7 and this is 6. So what has happened? LHS is greater than RHS now. So what is the answer? You conclude that answer will be after 3 and before 7. After 3 and before 7. Then you will check for 6. Then once you, so you can come very close. So ultimately when you find that LHS, then after 6, then you will take 6.2, then you will take 6.23, 6.24, 6.241. So up to 3 decimal points you can very easily find. So by this logic you will be able to find the answer. So in a diode resistor circuit, diode is a non-linear, diode is a device with non-linear VI characteristic, resistor is a device with linear VI characteristics. When you connect both of them, the thing is that there will be certain current which you can find by various methods. Same current you can find by graphical method. How? Here. So this is the ID VD characteristics of diode. Diode will, now what we are having? Diode and resistor in same circuit. So this diode ensures that VDID will be like this. What resistor will ensure? What resistance will ensure? Resistance will ensure that I is equal to 1000 or I is equal to VR upon 1000. Resistance will, diode will ensure that I is equal to this, ID equal to this, ID VD as required by diode, ID is same as IR is same as I. So resistor will require that IR is equal to VR upon 1000. What is VR? VR is, we don't want VR. What is VR? VR is 1 minus VD upon 1000. So what is the equation between, and IR is ID, so I can say ID as required by resistor would be 1 upon VD upon 1000. So ID as required by diode was ID is equal to this. So ID as required by diode is given by this characteristic, and ID as required by resistor is ID is equal to IR, IR is equal to VR upon 1000. VR is 1 minus VD because it is series circuit like this. So ID is equal to 1 minus VD upon 1000 is the requirement which must be satisfied by ID and VD because as wanted by resistor. Listen very carefully again. Resistance and diode, two devices we have connected in the series circuit. So both equations, one linear, one non-linear, must be satisfied. That current will flow which satisfies both equations, diode equation as well as resistor equation. The diode equation will be having some relationship between ID and VD. Resistance equation will be having some relationship between I and VR, but I is equal to IR is equal to ID. Therefore, resistor equation, the condition must be satisfied between ID and VR. But what is VR? VR is 1 minus VD. So for the common circuit, the condition which must be satisfied by VD and ID as demanded by diode is this characteristic, and the characteristic between VD and ID as demanded by resistor is this characteristic. ID is equal to 1 minus VD upon 1000. How to plot this? It is very simple. If when VD is equal to 0, when VD is equal to 0, what is ID? When VD is 0, ID 1 upon 1000. ID is 1 upon 1000, that is 1 milliampere. This is point. This is 1 milliampere point. Right? put Vd equal to, it's a linear equation. So a line can be plotted when you know 2 points. Which 2 points we will find? Simple points to find are points on axis. So when you put Vd equal to 0, Id 1 upon 1000, that is 1 milliampere. And when we put Id equal to 0, when you put Id equal to 0, what is Vd? When you put Id equal to 0, what will happen? IR equal to VR upon 1000, VR is equal to VR is 1 minus Vd. So Id is equal to 1 minus Vd upon 1000. So when we put Id equal to 0, this 1000 will come here. 1 minus, so what is Vd? Vd is equal to 1. So it would be 1 here. So this is another point, 1 volt. When we put Id equal to 0, 1 minus Vd is 0, Vd is equal to 1. So this is a line, so this is the equation. So this is the answer. So it may not be exact 0.7, it may be not exactly 0.7, but the slope is so high that this is very small, around 0.7. So if you change this voltage to 2 volts, what will happen? If you change voltage to 2 volts, this would be, when you change voltage to 2 volts, in that case, what is going to happen? In that case, this would be shifted, this would be like this, so that it will become 2. If you change it to 3 volts, it will become like this. If you change resistance from 100 ohm to 100,000 ohm to 500 ohm, this will go at the top, 2 milliamperes. So if you reduce resistor, this is the line called as diode load line. So for given resistance and for given voltage, it is like this. If you increase voltage, in that case what happens? If you increase voltage, this point is fixed and it revolves like this. So it comes here. If you reduce resistance and keep voltage same, it revolves like this. So higher voltage and lower resistance, the point moves on this side. If you increase voltage, still point moves on this side. How? Because it revolves 1 volt. If it's 2 volt, it goes like this. So intersection comes here. If it's 3 volt, it comes here. If you decrease resistance, keep voltage same, if resistance, if we made 500 ohm, it will go to 2 milliamperes. So it like this. So in a diode circuit, a resistance less, voltage more diode current. And normally when voltage is more than 0.7 and resistance is around 1000 or so, what we can say is approx, if now it is not always, but normally if this voltage V is more than 1 volt and resistance is around few kilo ohms, then approximate diode current is Id is equal to V minus 0.7 upon R for a silicon diode, or not Id is I. So for a diode resistor circuit, the current is I is equal to V minus, it is approximate, not exact, it varies, but that is negligible. So this is if voltage is more than 1 volt, but if voltage comes near to 0.7, this is not so correct. If voltage is 0.5, current is not negative. So this formula is valid if this is satisfied and this is satisfied. If resistance is too high or too low, and if voltage is around 0.7, then this is not correct. If voltage is 0.3, then what will happen? Still there would be, gives the solution. It comes here, what will happen? Remember, 0.7 is not something which is minus always. So if I make this voltage to say 0.5 volts, what will happen? Only thing, this will change to 0.5. So it would be a very low current. So remember that you can always plot this non-linear characteristic and linear characteristic like this, and you can find diode current, you can find current in the diode circuit. The current in the diode circuit is normally voltage minus 0.7 upon resistance if voltage is more than 1 volt and resistance is around few kilo ohms. In that case you can very easily find, but in other cases also there will be some current, but that what exact current will depend upon many things. So, this is the way with which you can deal with diode currents. If voltage is negative, then this will be like this. So, somewhere here, but that is very small and negligible, you can say 0. So, for the diode equation as required by transistor is very simple. Normally we find using this, normally we use the transistor in the forward bias mode if voltage is less than 0.7, normally we can assume that the current is very negligible, we can ignore that and we can take it to 0, approximately 0 also. So, with this now we go for our magical description of transistor. And it is so powerful that those who have studied transistor in their 11th, 12th or in some maybe either in electronics or even in physics, they will know, they will say, oh, if it is so simple, why it was not told. Maybe this is not a good technique which somebody may feel, but at this juncture when the purpose is to give you more information in less time and in such a non-conducive situation, I thought that this is the best opportunity to use this method so that everybody will understand everything. So, now what is transistor? Transistor is a device which is having a simple silicon, we use silicon now, emitter, base and collector. It is having one silicon diode between base and emitter and one magical resistor RCE between collector and emitter. This is variable, magical and dynamic. Now, how transistor works? There will be, if nothing is done, everything is 0, hanging transistor. If you connect transistor points base, emitter and collector in some electric circuit, if you connect so a simple transistor circuit which we will draw is like this, emitter we ground, we connect some resistor and we connect some voltage, that is called a VBB is equal to 2 volts. This we can keep as 1 kilo ohm and this we keep as 5 kilo ohm, let us say. This we keep as 15 volts and this we keep as 1 kilo ohm. Right. Now, this is the question. 2 volts VBB, emitter grounded, VBB 2 volt with respect to this ground. This is VC called as VCC, is 15 volts. Base, this is called as RB, this is called as RC. Find obviously IB, IC and IE is the question, how the things will work. Now, as I say that working of transistor by considering the junction, their biasing and all that, I will rule out completely instantly. Now, I listen very carefully. What transistor works means what? There is one diode in the transistor, so it will work as a simple diode. What else is there in the transistor except diode? As per our model, only one resistance. So, I will draw its equivalent model here. Its equivalent model here is, this is 5 kilo ohms, a diode, one kilo ohm, another resistor, this ground, this is plus 15 volts, and this is our RCE. That is most important part is RCE. It is dynamic and variable. So, state this is 2 volts. This is VCC, this is VBB. Now, what will be IB? So, this is IB, base current. This is IC which enters in the transistor, and this is something which leaves, IE. So, obviously IB comes in, IC comes in, IE leaves. So, one equation simple is IE is equal to IB plus IC. IE is equal to IB plus IC, simple Kirchhoff's node law. Now, what will be IB? What will be IB in this case? IB is simple. What is this voltage? 0. This is 2 volts. The conditions are fulfilled, that is more than 0.7, resistance is also in the range of some kilo ohms. So, IB will be approximately, but no problem, 2 minus 0.7 upon 5000, that is 1.3 upon 5000. So, it is 1.3 upon 5 milliampere. So, it would be 2.6 milliamperes. It would be 2.6 milliamperes. IB is 2.6 milliamperes. We take some, just I will change the values instead of merely to have some good reserve. Good means maybe 20 kilo ohms. So, in that case what will happen? You do 1 minus 0.7 upon 20,000. So, it would be 0.3 upon 20,000. So, what is the answer? 0.3 upon 20,000, 0.3 upon 20, that is 0.3 upon 20, and it is milliamperes. So, we can put it again 3 zeros. So, 300 upon 0.3 upon 20 milliamperes. We can put 1, 2, 3 zeros and make it microamperes. So, 300 by 20. So, that would be 15 microamperes. The current would be 15 microamperes is IB, right. Now, the question is what further? That everything, so what would be the IC? This is IB. What would be IC? This is the transistor. So, what would be IC? IC would be VCC, this is 0 upon sum of these two resistances. So, what is IC? IC would be VCC, that is 15 volts minus 0 as a emitter, 15 upon 1000 plus RCE. But what is that? That is the magic where lies. Now, listen very carefully, and this is the crux of transistor. Listen very carefully, I am explaining in very slow speed. Transistor is a device. We are talking of NPN transistor. In case of NPN transistor, we have got a diode between base and emitter, a diode between base and emitter, and a resistance between collector and emitter. The resistance between collector and emitter is a magic resistance which contains entire magical functioning of transistor. What is that? That is variable. How it varies? Now listen very carefully. The magical resistor tries to adjust itself to ensure that the collector current of the transistor is beta times base current of the transistor, where beta is the property of the transistor, that is called as current gain, and normally it is in few hundreds, 100 to 500, 600, etc. For our consideration, we assume that it is 100 for our consideration. I explain Marathi. ट्रान्झिस्टर मध्ये बेस आणि एमिटर मध्ये एक डायोड आहे, पी एन, बेस हे पी, एमिटर एन, आणि एमिटर आणि कलेक्टर मध्ये एक रेजिस्टन्स आहे. आपण डायोड आपण हे घेत नाही, हे वेगळं मॉडेल आहे, दोन जंक्शन वगैरे आपण काही अज्युम करत नाही, एकदम सोपं मॉडेल घेतलेलं आहे. बेस एमिटर मध्ये डायोड आहे आणि कलेक्टर एमिटर मध्ये रेजिस्टन्स आहे. कलेक्टर एमिटर मधला रेजिस्टन्स हा मॅजिकल आहे आणि तो मॅजिकल अशा अर्थाने आहे, तो काय करतो, तो स्वतःला बदलतो. कशा पद्धतीने बदलतो की तो स्वतःला असं ॲडजस्ट करायचा प्रयत्न करतो की कलेक्टर करंट हा बेस करंटच्या बीटा पट, आणि बीटा नॉर्मली 100, 200, 300 असतं, आपण 100 धरू, की तो RCE हा असा स्वतःला ॲडजस्ट करतो अशा व्हॅल्यूला की कलेक्टर करंट हा बेस करंटच्या 100 पट असेल. बट there is a condition that RCE cannot become negative. RCE tries to adjust itself. RCE tries to adjust itself under the condition that it can be 0, it can be infinite. There is no point on infinity side, or we can, or there is no need also. RCE is always greater than or equal to 0. That's all. Only one condition. Whenever you put the things in action, the transistor at every moment, the R's magical internal resistance tries to adjust itself so as to ensure that IC is 100 times IB, but in that process RCE can't become negative. RCE, therefore I give the name positive magical dynamic resistance. So RCE is, this is very important, every circuit in the world which you can come across is solvable. RCE is positive magical dynamic resistance. Or you can say dynamic internal resistance of transistor. If this is known, nothing is difficult to be found out. Which adjusts itself, which, this is a transistor which tries or which adjusts itself, which or tries to, so because which can't always adjust because it can't become 0, which tries ensure that IC is equal to 100 IB. So why I say 100? Because beta is, for transistor to transistor it is different. We take 100 because that is not so important, that I will explain after some time in next lecture. So RCE tries to adjust to ensure that IC is equal to 100 times IB. IC is 100 times IB. But only thing is that it can't become negative, it is positive. It can come minimum to 0, it can maximum become infinite. So in this case now what will happen? So once this is known, you can find answers for every question. So now we proceed with a simple way as discussed, that find IB independently, and then after finding IB independently, we assume that IC would be 100 times IB and find out required value of RC. If required value of RC comes positive, everything is correct, that is the answer. If required value of RC comes negative, actual value of RC is 0 and we need to change the answer for collector current. So in this case, base current is 1 minus 0.7 upon this, we have a small change, this we have assumed as 20 kilo ohms. So 1 minus 0.7 upon 20, 1 minus 0.7 upon 20,000, we need to take everything in SI units, otherwise there will be mistake. So 0.3 upon 20,000, 0.3 upon 20,000 is equal to, we can say 0.3 upon 20 into 1 upon 1000, that is milliamperes. When 1 upon 1000, when we remove, we can take it to be milliamperes. Again we multiply by 1000, the answer will be in microamperes. When we multiply by 1000, we put 1, 2 and 3 zeros. So 300 upon 20, that is 15 microamperes. I think there was no need to explain to this extent. 0.3 upon 20,000, 15 microampere is base current. Base current is 15 microampere. So what is collector current expected? Collector current expected is IC is equal to 15 micro into 10 raised to minus 6 into 10. So IC is beta times IB. Beta we have assumed to be 100. So IC is equal to 15 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 100. So that is equal to 15 into 10 raised to minus 4, right. So what is IC? IC is equal to VCC, that is 15 upon RC upon RC, that is 1000, plus RCE, that is equal to 15 into 10 raised to minus 4. I again repeat, find IB, let IC be equal to 100 times IB. Let IC be equal to 100 times IB, 15 microamperes, 15 microamperes into 100 is 15 to 10 raised to minus 4 is IC, put that value. So 15 upon 1000 plus RC is 15 into 10 raised to minus 4. So what we have got, that is 1 upon 1000 plus RCE is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 4, 1 into 10 raised to minus 4. So now what we do, multiply both sides by 10 raised to minus 4. Multiply both sides by 10 raised to 4. So multiplying both sides by 10 raised to 4, we multiply numerator 10,000 upon 1000 plus RCE, that is equal to 1. And 1000 plus RCE goes on the other side. So what RCE required we get? RCE required we get as 9 kilo ohms or 9000 or 9 kilo ohms, which is positive, which is greater than 0. So transistor adjusts itself so that RC becomes 9000 and collector current becomes 15 microampere into 1000, that is 15,000 microampere, that is equal to 15,000. So 15 microampere into 100, that is 1500 microampere, that is 1.5 milliamperes. So IB is equal to, so for this circuit, now for this circuit, when everything is fixed, we can have simple one, RB, RC, VBB, VCC. So RB we have kept as 20K, RC we have kept as 1K, VBB we have kept as 2 volt, VCC we have kept as 15 volts, and what would be IC? IC comes as 1.5 milliamperes, 1.5 milliamperes. And what is IB? We can also have column. IB is 15 microamperes, IC is equal to 1.5 milliamperes in this case. Now I will make small changes. So we can now each time there is no need to go for such detailed calculations. We can have a very simple method, a very further shortcut. So what can we do? This is VBB. Suppose everything else I keep same, and I change this VBB from 2 volts to, let us say that there are 2-3 ways with which we can have. What is maximum IC which will be allowed? What is maximum IC which will be allowed? Maximum IC which will be allowed is RC minimum can be 0. So 15 upon 1K. So IC max you can compute is equal to 15 milliamperes. 15 milliamperes. And here we can have what RC it adjusts. Now if we take from this 2 volts, if I make this as 5 volts, what will happen? If I make it as 5 volts, when it was what we have taken previously, we have taken as 1 volt. It was 1 volt. So when it was 1 volt, it was 15 microamperes. So IB was VBB minus 0.7 upon 20,000. Now if I make VBB as 5 volts, what it would be? 5, I think it will increase instantly. We will go stepwise. If I make it 2 volts, what will happen? 2 minus 0.7 is 1.3 upon 20,000. 1.3 upon 20,000 was 0.3 upon 20,000 was 15 microamperes. So 1.3 upon 15,000 would be, everything remains same, 65 microamperes. So what is expected IC? Expected IC is this into 6.5 milliamperes, no problem. It will be as it is. Suppose if I make it 4 volts. So when I make it 4 volts, what will happen? When I make it 4 volts, at that time 4 minus 0.7, that would be 3.3. That would be 4 minus 0.7 upon, so 4 I will not make, I will make it 3. For 3 volts, what will happen? 3 minus 0.7 is 2.3 upon 20,000. So it would be 115 microamperes. 115 microamperes. So IC would be 11.5 milliamperes. So RC here was 9 kilo ohms. So what is required? For this to be 6.5, you compute what is RC. 15 upon 6.5 milliampere, that is 15,000 upon 65 is equal to 1 kilo ohm plus RC. So RC adjusts each time from 9K to reduce. So here it is 15,000 upon 6.5, that is 15 upon 6.5 milliamperes, means 15 upon 6.5 milliamperes is 15,000 upon 65. So it is this upon this one. So you can find out what would be RC. RC adjusts each time so as to ensure that this much current flows. Now if I make it as the this, when this becomes 150 microamperes, when this becomes 150 microamperes, at that time this would be 1.5, at that time this would be 15 milliamperes, and here it ends. So, I will explain to you each by taking all possible combinations, each entry in this table I will explain to you. So, when this is going to happen, when this will be 150 microamperes, for what will be the voltage for that? So, can you guess it by, this is 65. Why it is 65? 65 into 2 is 65 into 0.2 is 2 minus 0.7. So, 150 into 65 into 0.2 is 1.3. 115 into 0.2 is 2.3. Similarly, 150 into 0.2 is 3. So, at this value it occurs. So, how transistor works is a very interesting one. Now, if I make it say 4 volts, what will happen? If you make it 4 volts, it will be 3.3, so it will be 165 microamperes. And now you find that the ability of the positive dynamic internal resistance, magical dynamic internal resistance has exhausted. So, what you are unnecessary, if there is some sincere student, if you unnecessarily load him, at one point he will stop. Similarly, RC is expected to be adjusted so as to ensure that IC is 100 times IB. If you go on increasing IB beyond limit, then RC at the max or at the most can become 0. It can't be negative. So, here itself, so 15 milliamperes collector current is possible. When it is possible? This is 15 volts. This is 0 volts. So, 50 milliamperes means 15 upon 1K. Beyond it is not possible. So, when it reaches 15, that time RC required has reached 0. Here also it is 0. So, in any case, so what happens? Base current determines RCE. How? Transistor is a device which contains a positive dynamic internal resistance which adjusts itself so as to ensure that IC becomes 100 times IB. So as to make IC 100 times IB, as and when IB changes, RC adjusts itself to further make IC equal to 100 times IB. But so what is going to happen is very simple. If RC increases, what will happen? Current is going to reduce. If RC reduces, current is going to increase. So, for lower values of IB, there is higher value of RC. For higher values of IB, there is lower value of IC. But if IB increases further, RCE reduces up and reaches to its minimum value, it is 0. So, it can't go negative. So, here when it is 11.5 milliampere, when it is 1.5 milliamperes, it is 9 kilo ohms. So, each time when it is 6.5 milliamperes, 6.5 milliamperes means what? 15 volts upon 6.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to 1000 plus RCE. That is all. So, multiplying by 10 raised to 3 on this side, 15 upon 6.5 is equal to, this is 1 plus 1 plus point, not this multiplied on this side, 10,000 into 10 minus is 1 and 0.001 RCE. 15 upon 6.5 is 150 upon 65, you can make it 13, you can make it 30 is equal to 1 plus 0.001 RCE. 30 upon 13 is 2.3 approximately, is equal to 1 plus 0.001 RCE. So 1.3 is equal to 0.001 RCE, multiplying both sides by 1000, multiplying both sides by 1000, what we get? 1300 is RCE. So RCE is 1.3 kilo ohms. So here what happens? Here it further reduces. So each time RCE reduces when IBV increase, and here this limit. So what we find? There is a linear relationship between IC and IB subject to IC max. The circuitry does not allow more current to flow. So remember, all other components, that is this voltage, this resistor, this voltage, this resistor are external. So in any, listen very carefully, once you know this, any circuit is given to you, you must be able to find what is the base current, emitter current and collector voltage. Base current, collector current, emitter current is IB plus IC, and collector voltage. So what is to be found out? In transistor, collector current and collector voltage to be found out. What is collector voltage? This voltage minus this resistance into IC. So what is, so in this case, so this is the table. Any time, any circuit you can find by this simple method, that find base current through diode circuit by using the formula VBB minus 0.7 upon RB in normal cases, find expected current, expected collector current, find RCE for that expected collector current. If RC is positive, you are right, the collector current will flow. When the collector current flows, what is collector voltage? If this is VC, what is VC? VC is equal to VCC. VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC. So in this case, VCC is 15, RC is 1000 IC is VC. So obviously, when collector current increases, this becomes constant, this is constant, this is constant. When collector current increases, more voltage will drop across the resistor, collector voltage will reduce. This is very interesting because the main property, collector voltage for in the given circuit, for less collector current, more collector voltage, for more collector current, less collector voltage. So once you know how to deal with the system, finding out base current using diode circuit, finding out, then multiplying base current by 100. For every transit it need not be 100, but 100 is some given value normally, and you will come to know that this when we learn transistor amplifier, that this 100 really does not matter. Find multiply base current by 100, that is expected collector current. For this expected collector current, using VCC and RC, find out RCE. What is, so what is RCE? VCC you have got, VCC upon RC, this is called as RC resistor, this is RB. RC plus RCE is equal to IC, is equal to IC. So you expected IC, VCC you know, RC you know. For your expected IC, you find RCE. If that is positive, everything is correct, and then that is the actual IC. Find out VCC minus ICRC. So first step, find IB by approximate method, VBB minus RB upon, VBB minus 0.7 upon RB. Then IC expected is 100 times IB, IC expected. Then using this IC expected, find RCE. What is the formula? RCE is equal, so you can multiply this, it is expected. So when you multiply this on the other side, how do we proceed? RC plus RCE is equal to VCC upon IC expected. So RCE is equal to, simple way, VCC upon IC expected minus RC. Minus RC. VCC upon IC expected minus RC, and you can very easily find, if RC is positive, you are done, and then you can find VC by this method. If RC is positive, then IC is IC expected, and this is the answer. If RC comes out to be negative, then we need to change and in that case IC is not equal to IC expected, but IC is equal to VCC minus RC plus 0, or that's all. If RC is negative, then RC can't become negative. If RC is positive, everything is correct, find VC. If RC is negative, IC is not equal to IC expected, this is IC, and in this case VC is 0. This is called as transistor working in saturation region when RC becomes negative. And when IB is 0 somehow, or if you connect minus VBB, VBB has negative voltage, VBB, if you connect VBB equal to minus 1 volt or very less, that is 0.1, 0.2, IB is negligible. So if IB is 0 approximately, then what is IC expected? 0. So when IC is 0, how it is possible? For IC to be 0, this must be infinite. If I want IC to be 0, what is IC? IC is equal to VCC 15 volts upon 1000 plus RCE. So when for this to become 0, this must become infinite. So when IB is 0, RC becomes infinite, because it wants to ensure IC is 0. So RC become infinity, it is cutoff region. RC becoming 0, it is saturation, and RC neither 0 nor infinity, it is active region of the transistor. So I think I had explained to my level best working of transistor by simple method. This is most important, and in the next lecture we will go through the further numericals and use of transistor as an amplifier, use of transistor as a switch. So that will cover most of the transistor working. We can stop here.